Welcome to Help! I Have Kids. I'm your host, Pam Marshall, a mom of 5 and a pediatric occupational therapist with over 35 years experience. This podcast is designed to equip you with practical tools, insights from experts, and real life stories. Because at the end of the day, you are the head of your child's care team. Each week, you'll hear from pediatric experts and fellow moms like you that will help build your confidence. They'll offer clarity and empower you to make informed decisions that work for your whole family. Joining me today is someone who knows all about the toddler tornado. It's Miss Emily Sadlon. How are you today, Emily?
I'm doing well. Glad to be here. We're big fans of Marshall Pediatric Therapy, and just happy to be on the podcast.
And I'm excited to have you because you're a mom. You have lots of hats. You're a mom. You're a wife. You're a nurse. You're also a podcaster, which is fun.
Yeah,
to have a fellow podcaster.
Yeah. We just started at the same time doing our podcast. So it's been fun.
That's really fun. And I love today's episode because it is getting your perspective and just talking about the fun, exciting adventure of being a mom to a toddler. Like the toddler crew. This is a story that, I think we all can relate to as parents. Just the stages where we laugh, we cry, we try to figure out what to do with this toddler.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question I love asking people when they are on the podcast. So how would you define what toddler is?
How would I define what toddler is? So I feel like when you do a Google search, it says, generally people say it starts around age 1 and then up until they start preschool.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because once they hit preschool, then you call them a preschooler.
Yes.
But it's just starting out learning how to talk and how to communicate. Walking's
a big one.
Is a big one. And then figuring out, I have a voice and how can I use that?
Yeah.
Is a big part of toddlerhood.
A fascinating thing about development is kids are so focused on motor development because they don't know how to move when they're a baby and they're learning how to move. That a lot of that energy is on movement. And as soon as they get upright and walking, then it's like they can really focus more on language and language takes off. So it's kind of neat how that works.
Yeah.
So let's talk about tantrums. You always hear that phrase, the terrible twos, or toddlers have a lot of feelings and they want to express them. And a lot of times it comes out with crying and screaming and tantrums as we know it. So have you had any experience with tantrums?
Of course I have.
And tell me how old your little one is.
So my son turns 2 next week.
So he is in the middle of toddler.
He's in the thick of it.
Yeah.
I always say he started having tantrums early because they say around 2-ish is when they started. He definitely around 18 months for him. He started having.
I get it. I noticed that too of our kids. 18 months is when you have to start having side parental discussions about
how do we handle this?
Yes. What is our discipline going to be and what does this look like? How to handle this?
Yeah.
It's right around 18 months. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've had a lot of big feelings and tantrums. And, I think a lot of it is them having so much, emotions and not knowing how to express them.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
It is tough. One of my favorite things as an occupational therapist to help parents with is to help them understand that their toddler isn't bad. All children are created good. They do have behavior. They do make wrong choices and their choices may be wrong, but they're good as a little person. And
that was one thing that was one of my biggest pet peeves.
Yeah.
Was when my son was a baby and people asked if he was a good baby. I'm like, yes, he is a good baby. All babies are good babies.
Yes,
he's not stealing. He's not robbing a bank. He's a good baby.
Right. They all are. Yeah, I think it's semantics, but it matters. It matters that you understand that children are good by nature.
Yeah.
And they begin to have self-will, make these wrong choices. And it's our job as parents to shape them and to help them through that. And one of the things that I think was a fun thing that I learned as a mom, and I just wonder if you've tried this, is the art of distraction.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So can you tell me about a time, like, can you think of a time where you really had to distract your little one from, like, they're set on something and you just have to distract them away from it?
So a lot of tantrums start with my kid wants to get into something that I know is dangerous.
Yes.
Or it's something where it's like, we have a time constraint. We just can't be doing this right now. So
we have to get out the door. We can't be in the middle of
so
whatever.
It's like you have to stick to your boundaries of like, this is what we're doing today, or no, you can't put the rock in your mouth.
Right.
Because it's harmful for you.
Right.
So figuring out distractions has been a really great tool for us. And one of our favorite ones recently is tickling. So we'll just start tickling him and then he'll start laughing and then he'll forget about the thing that he asked for.
That's a great strategy.
Yeah.
Because a lot of parents don't realize, or first time parents don't realize that when you get in this, I call it like tug of war or headbutting or whatever you want to call it. You don't want to get into a power struggle at all with a toddler. Like that's,
Cause you're not going to win.
You're not going to win. No way. No way do power struggles win. You can't beat them at it.
Yeah. But distraction helps a lot to prevent the tantrum from starting.
It does. And getting a drink is another great one. Like tickling, getting a drink.
We do that too.
Are you thirsty?
Yeah.
Let's get a drink. And you just distract them away from whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then, you sometimes also not announcing the thing that you're going to do. Like if he has that rock in his mouth, you're going to just sweep your finger in there and grab it out. You know, if it's not a dangerous thing to do, you would decide, I'll just help him get that out. And you won't even announce it. I think that's what parents get into trouble when they say, okay, I'm going to take that rock out of your mouth now. And then they're going to
look in the air and look, I see an airplane.
Right. Yeah. And then you grab it. Right. Exactly. Just
so that has
him.
Definitely been a helpful tool. I also think it's hard to manage my own emotions.
Absolutely.
When a tantrum starts, because I can feel the anxiety bubbling up inside of me. So I have to stop and like take a deep breath and be like, okay, I'm not being chased by a lion.
Right.
Like, we're fine. Everything's fine.
Yep. That's a fantastic strategy. That's actually the first thing you're supposed to do is take deep breaths. Give you time to think, help you plan out how to strategize.
Yeah.
Because they are smart little cookies.
Yeah. And then I also try to like I try to empathize with his emotions and picture how he's feeling and name the emotions that I think that he's feeling.
That's really good, Emily.
Being like, oh, you really wanted that rock or something. That is so frustrating that you can't have that right now. I'm so sorry. I'm here for you.
Yeah, that's good.
And then just saying like, sometimes Gideon will just want to be on his own for a little bit for a tantrum.
Yeah.
And just saying, I'm right here. I'm next to you. If you want a hug, Mama's right here. If you want to be picked up, I'm right here. And then we just like reconnect afterwards and, offer a big hug or.
That's a really good strategy because that's what it is. They're learning emotion and being able to name it. Do you have any of those little pictures? I know some moms get those little pictures of all the feeling.
No, I don't. But I think
faces that have the angry. And the happy.
I've been in the market for some good books because it's good to show like pictures of faces and be like, oh, that's what it looks like when you're mad. Or that's Gideon has started saying, Mama happy when I laugh.
Oh, that's good. So he's seen it in you now and affirming it in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so helpful when they can start seeing it and understanding it. And I think, our culture has sometimes this feeling that kids can't be upset or can't have a tantrum when being mad is just part of life. Like, it's okay for toddlers to get mad. It's just what they do with that anger and when they do it and how they do it. And, in one of our other episodes, we talked about, using their room not as a punishment, but as a safe space.
Yeah.
For when they do have big emotions, that's a place you can go and get your big emotions out if you need to.
We also have like a nugget couch, the little play couches.
Yeah, I love those.
So if he's wanting to like hit or like do some big movements or something, I'll be like, here, you can hit the nugget couch or.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Build a fort and smash it down.
Yeah.
Those are all good things. And, also as an OT, I knew this as a mom to really get them to do heavy work, like load a big truck with some cans of soup or something heavy canned things and push it around.
Yeah.
And load a shopping cart or whatever.
Yeah.
That they can do that heavy work or help you push chairs around while you clean the floor. And as they get older, some like 5-6-year-olds really love the vacuum cleaner because it provides a lot of that heavy work that helps them regulate a little bit. That's good. So what do you feel like is your biggest challenge right now? We were talking earlier about potty training. Do you feel like that's a big challenge or?
So we have not yet started potty training. My son has done number 2 in the potty a few times.
Yay!
But I have done no research on potty training. So I'd love to hear
that's
your
fun.
tips and tricks. Like, I'm on the edge of my seat.
That is so fun that you haven't done research because then we get to talk about it right here on the spot in this podcast. So what are your thoughts, like as a mom, when you think about things that are important to you? What is a goal you could see? What's the end result of potty training? Like, what's the end result for you?
The end result.
So you obviously want him to go without diapers on. And to wear big boy pants. But do you have like an age when you have that in mind? Or do you think about wanting him to be part of that control? Or just do you have any thoughts like that?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty open-minded to how it would look like for our family. We do plan to start traditional daycare soon. He's transitioning from being with a nanny to being in traditional daycare. And I think in the 3-year-old room, they start doing potty training.
Yes. And did you know, fun fact, there are a lot of cultures that potty train way earlier than we do in the U.S.
I've heard.
And kids are actually, a lot of them, not all, there are children who don't have awareness, but there's a lot of children that have awareness actually before age 2. It's kind of wild when you read about it.
Yeah.
But the thing, this is also unique to each individual family, is whether parents feel comfortable letting their toddler watch them or not. Some people are very private in their business and they don't.
No, we're pretty open.
We were pretty open too. It just, not that you mean to be, but you all end up in the bathroom and somebody's going, you know, and they just see it. And it really does help for them to see daddy go if they're a boy because they have the same plumbing and they can observe how that works. And so those things are kind of natural at that age.
Yeah.
And, talking about, the first step is talking about, oh, daddy goes pee-pee in the potty, mommy goes pee-pee in the potty, and just acknowledging that, oh, we do it. And, and, soon you'll go pee-pee in the potty too. And that way you're starting to expose him just with the language of talking about it. But I'll share some tips I learned that worked really great. And then we'll see what you think about that. So when our kids, were showing readiness, and of course we were reading books and talking about it.
What does that mean? Showing readiness? Like what are the readiness signs?
They were talking about it. Like they would say, mommy, go pee-pee. And they were also aware, like, if you're swimming and they have to go and they stand there and go, oh, like they recognize they're going to the bathroom, or if they have number 2 and they're running away or they're going a certain place and they have an awareness that, oh, this is what I'm doing. They're not just
like they're seeking privacy.
They're seeking privacy with it, and you're beginning to talk about it. So those are some awareness signs. And pulling down your pants is easier task for a toddler than pulling up. Pulling up is harder. So kids get undressed pretty easily and naturally. And when they can do that, that's a sign of readiness, actually. If they're pulling their pants down and getting undressed, you know, and being a part of that, and you letting them be a part of that, that's a sign of readiness. So, the tips what really worked for me is when we decided to go for it, like when we were talking about it, we spent weeks talking about it, and we saw the readiness, and it seemed like it was right time to try. We, of course, would start with just the random trying, but you get a potty is a little potty. Some kids feel much safer on a little potty. It's a little easier, safer feeling. But I honestly would put it out in the middle of the kitchen. I know that sounds weird and kind of sounds gross, but ours had a lid, so it wasn't like it was like wide open. And there was never anything in it. I would take care of it right away if somebody put something in it. But it just made it, because you live so much of life in the kitchen. You're in and out of the kitchen all the time. And then when there was awareness, sometimes they would say, I go pee-pee, and you'd help them sit and go. And sometimes they go, sometimes they don't. And boys use the little pee-pee shield on the potty.
On the toilet seat.
Yeah, the little guard that keeps it from spraying straight out front. And that's helpful. And that smaller one just works great. And then, eventually when we thought, okay, this is, a week that I'm going to plan on clearing my calendar, kind of being at home, trying to just kind of focus on it. And so we called it naked bottom. We just put a t-shirt on and naked bottom, and all day just naked bottom. And you just start with the beginning of the morning is the very first one, like after breakfast, when they first have to go, the first time of the morning. And, every kid has a different rhythm, but it's usually somewhere between 9 and 10 o'clock if they get up at a typical time. And you catch that first one, and there's success. And then, we chose to put undies on and then the pull up over top of the undies. So that they felt the wetness.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
If you had to go out, they felt the wetness.
And then you're not getting your car seat dirty.
Right.
Too.
There you go. But they're not used to the dryness of a pull-up.
Yeah.
And I think there are some pull-ups now. Do you know this? That have wetness? I don't know if there are out there right now.
I don't know if they're necessary. I feel like they're all pretty much moisture wicking.
Yeah. I feel like
they do make
too.
like the potty training underwear now that is absorbent and like leak proof. And I think those are made so
they feel the wet.
So they feel the wetness.
Yeah. And we would always get the training pants that were really thick.
Yeah.
They weren't the thin, like regular boys underwear. They were, thick.
Yeah.
So they could contain some of it. And that's kind of how you start. But the not having anything on your bottom for a period of time when you're really working on it helps them make that connection.
Yeah.
And what I tried to do was not use food necessarily as a reward, that we would use more events like, when you go pee-pee in the potty, when we go pee-pee in the potty, we'll go to the park, and make a fun reward, immediate reward, and gradually space that out, obviously, because you can't go to the park every time.
Right. Every time you pee-pee in the potty.
Right.
There'll be a lot of trips back and forth to the park.
And they don't really understand length of time. It's not like you can say 5 days in a row, but you can also use stickers. Those are nice. We would do that. Put a sticker on the refrigerator chart every time you go pee-pee in the potty. Yeah. And when you get 5, then we go to the park or something like that. They begin to understand the if-then type thing.
Yeah.
But the little naked bottom trick worked every time. All 5 kids for us. And we actually had girls that potty trained at 20 months.
Wow.
And all of our boys were potty trained by like 2 years, 2 months, 2 years, 4 months. And some of them, you know, our first one was a bit unusual. He was before age 2, and he just took his diaper off and handed it to me and said, I don't want this anymore. And I went, okay, I guess we can do something about that. But that I don't take credit for. He just did that.
Yeah.
I just was kind of fortunate that way. And I was putting it off because we had a baby due right before he was 2.
Yeah.
And I knew there was regression. You know, if there's a baby due, they'll most likely regress. But we just powered through, and he did have
He told you he was ready.
He told me he was ready. So that also may happen to you. I don't know. Yours may. It's just with that exposure of talking about it makes them want to be more ready.
Yeah.
So
that's good to hear.
Yeah. So do you have questions, like any other questions you can think of about it?
About potty training? Yeah, I hear all about these like 3-day programs for potty training. Yeah. Like
it does
take
work.
3 days.
Yeah, it really does work. If you stay home, it doesn't take, if you just focus and you're doing lots of home activities and other things, but you just kind of stay in that kitchen area, keeping that potty out. Yeah. Oh, and another great tip is for my word, I bet 20 years I had a little toddler potty in the car at all times.
Yeah.
At all times. And especially with girls, it's so nice to just use the potty in the car and not have to go into restrooms that are icky. Oh, that I wouldn't myself want to sit on, much less put my child on. So, that really helps too. Yeah. Just to have the potty in the car.
Yeah. I've also heard the hack of like keeping a little grocery bag, and if you grow out of a diaper size and you can't use that size anymore, keep those in the car and you can put them in the potty as like
that's a
pee absorbent.
Yes, that's a fantastic idea.
In like a little
and
bag.
I always put a little trash bag in the little plastic container of the potty, lined it so I could just tie it up, and especially if it was a number 2, because sometimes that number 2 just hits. You don't know when that's gonna hit. It hits and they've got to go.
You're right.
So it helps keeping all that. And I love the little diaper bag attachments now that people have figured out how to use little doggy bags.
Yes,
like your little,
I have those.
Little doggy poop bags.
Yeah.
And you put that in that container and put it on. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's such a brilliant idea.
We do that, and I use that for hotels too.
Oh,
like if we're staying, we just stayed for a week in a hotel, and all of our poopy diapers we put in the trash bags, and it makes it to where you don't have to like stink up the whole room.
Right.
You know?
Right. Cause that is really gross when you're just that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about one of the most unpredictable things, which is bath time and routines.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So bath time has looked so different in different phases of my son's life. Cause you start out with like the little newborn, bath, and then you work your way up to like, we have a little bath chair where he sat up
in there.
So now since he's been standing, one of the things, since he's been in like free in a standard tub, one of the things that he likes to do is he likes to stand up in the bathtub. So, what we've been doing, or what I've been doing lately, with that is I try to get all of his washing done as soon as we get in the bath while he's still interested in the bath toys. And then once he stands up, I say, we sit down on our bottoms during bath time. And then if he does it a second time, then it's like bath time's over. So I take him out of the tub.
So he knows if he stands up that second time, the water's going to go down the drain.
Right. But the other thing we've been doing lately is, I've been taking him in the shower with me.
Yeah. I took my babies in the shower just to get used to water over their head.
It feels like the biggest mom hack ever. Because you can get yourself clean and get them clean.
It's so great. We just always shower together. Yeah. And you know, one of the tricks, you moms listening, if you've never tried this, especially as soon as your baby's cord falls off and they're safe to be in water, what does your husband do? They shower like every day and go to work, or my husband did, you know, shower every day and go to work. While he's showering, you just hand him the baby.
Yeah.
Like, you just hand him the baby. And we always held them in a way that they could not slip and fall out of your arms.
Right.
Like, we held their, femur, their leg bone. So if they did slip, you had them by that leg. There was no way they were falling. We kept our hand. That was kind of our rule.
They're
always
slippery little guys.
They're slippery, especially if you soap them up and rinse them off. So we just did that from the time they were little. And then when they're toddlers, it's the quickest way. They just go in the shower
It's so
with
fast.
you. And especially if you have a handheld. That's,
We do have a handheld shower, which is really helpful.
Like the number one helpful mom hack is have a handheld shower nozzle.
Yeah.
And anybody can screw them on. You can buy them at Walmart, Home Depot, wherever. Amazon.
Yeah.
Screw them on. No problem. Even if you're in a rental property, you can screw them on and then take them off.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that. And they're the best. They're a must-have with girls with long hair, but they're the best even with boys because you can angle where the water's going so you can get them soaped up and then rinsed off. So I agree with you. The mom hack of shoving them in the shower with you is the best.
So easy.
So quick. And you don't have that mom struggle of them wanting to stand up. Because they're allowed to stand up in the shower, right? That's awesome. Well, let's talk about routines a little bit because we were talking earlier. I remember as a mom, 26 years old, I became a mom and no clue how to pack a bag or get ready or have organization or routines. No clue how to do that.
Yeah.
So how did you learn that? What are some things you
I feel like I was a very type B person before becoming a mom, and now I'm very like, the kitchen has to be clean before I go to bed.
Yes, I had that rule too.
All those things. And, you just have to stay like a few steps ahead.
All the time.
All the time. So if you pack the diaper bag the night before, then, it makes mornings go so much smoother getting out of the house. So much
smoother. I would even lay out clothes. Do you do that? Like on a hanger?
Yeah.
I always had this like shelf with these little peg hooks and I would hang the clothes out so that everything was all there, all together in the morning, that it was zippy quick. Yeah.
But then the other thing is that children thrive with routine.
They do.
So I've noticed that, like specifically if we're looking at bedtime, we have like a specific routine that we go through and it helps my son understand like what's coming next.
That's very true. That is so excellent. And you figured that out and knew how to set that routine. So give us like a snapshot of what that routine looks like for you.
Yeah. So we do have a lot of steps to our bedtime routine. We take a bath or take a shower, put a new diaper on, PJs.
Which is necessary for a boy because if they're playing outside, which they should be, they're just sweaty and gross
for sure.
and dirty. And they need a bath.
And then we use a sleep sack. So that's another sleep cue for him. And I have this lotion that I put on the bottom of the seat. I don't know if it works or not, but it's like a magnesium lotion.
Oh, that's neat.
And I rub it on the bottom of his feet before bed. It has like lavender in it.
Oh, I bet he likes that.
He does. We call it tickle lotion.
Oh,
and it's part of his routine. So we're like, okay, time for tickle lotion. One foot, tickle, tickle, tickle. Other foot, tickle, tickle, tickle.
Oh, that's
and
so
he giggles and then we read books.
That's really good to do before bedtime books.
We read.
What's his favorite book right now?
Oh, there are so many. I mean, he likes 5 books before bed.
A lot.
He likes a lot of books.
Wear them out.
But he's big into the Little Blue Truck. Books. Also like a lot of, what are those? Oh, I forget the name of them. Is it like Sandra
Boynton?
Sandra Boynton. Yeah. Those books. He likes those.
I like Chicka Chicka Boom Boom.
Yeah.
Will
he
there
likes
be
that
enough
book
room?
too.
A told C. Or A told B and B told C.
It feels nostalgic to me too, to read the same books that you.
The coconut tree. I love those songs that feel like a song. Or the books that feel like a song. I love them. Yeah.
Ellie, what is her last name? Ellie Holcomb, I think. She has some really great books that are very like melodical too.
That's neat. I like that. Yeah, the routine is predictable, and kids need that predictability of that routine and knowing. Another thing, he's close to the age. Pretty soon you'll be able to switch some of your reading time to classical stories. We started doing that with our children. So like, I'm just going to randomly say one, like Stuart Little. That's a random one. And something that is longer and takes maybe weeks to read through, but you start reading it as they're tucked in bed, not the sit and look through book part. They get to sit and look through book, but then you read a classical story. And I can't tell you how many times I would fall asleep reading to my kids. I would sit, like when we had 2 boys and 2 girls, and I would sit in the hallway in between their rooms with the
you've
doors
told me
open.
that before.
And read to them.
That's a great hack for parents with a lot of children. To sit in the hallway and just like read to all of them all at once.
That's what we would do. We would take turns doing that. So I love that routine. Are there any like AM routines that help you or help you get out the door successfully, that kind of thing?
You know, we get up in the morning, we eat breakfast, we have some playtime. I guess we kind of do have a bit of a morning routine. And then we go upstairs and we get ready together.
I was going to say, how does he know it's time to go or time to go to the car?
He's really struggling with transitions lately. So that's something that we're really working on.
I've got lots of OT ideas for you. Transitions are a normal part of life, but there are also lots of children can have challenges with them. And it usually helps if you engage them or give them something to do in that transition. And if they can have transitional objects, that also helps. So like, that's why little loveys or toys or things like that some kids are attached to, or a truck. You know, some boys like really.
My son has a little yellow truck.
And those can be great transitional objects. And you can just say, get your yellow truck. Let's let yellow truck say hi to the car. Or, and get out to the car and use that as a transition. But a lot of times, I call it scripting. Like parents want to script their day to their child. Like say, well, now we're going to get the bag. Now we're going to go out and we're going to go to da-da-da-da-da. You know, and they're telling their child what's happening, but it's not actually really necessary. Some children, it builds that anxiety up in them to be explaining everything to them.
Right.
Like there's a balance. Some things you need to explain, some things you don't. Some things you just build a routine and execute the routine and they know what's coming based on the predictability of the routine. And that keeps their anxiety down because, you know, if they know or they're anticipating a separation from you, that's really what it's about.
Right.
So you stay focused on other things. Again, that art of distraction where you talk about other things and you don't have to script, you know, and I'm going to drop you off and then mommy's going to go to work and, you know, and I think sometimes we forget that because it's just, we're just talking and think we're just talking and being helpful to them. And sometimes it's not. Some kids, it builds more anxiety in them.
That's super helpful. So
now that we've talked about routines, let's talk about some of those disaster moments that all of us as moms face, like our kids having a meltdown in the middle of a grocery aisle, or we're just at home doing a daily routine and they lose it, or we can't wash their hair, or whatever it is. Let's talk about those moments. Have you had any?
Oh, for sure. We had one recently where we were eating at a Mexican restaurant and my son just absolutely lost it in the middle of this restaurant. And I was so embarrassed. And there's a time and a place to be like, okay, I need to remove my kid because he's,
disrupting the whole room.
The entire room. So I did pick him up and we just marched out, kicking and screaming. And I helped calm him in the car and we moved on with our day. But if it happens in the middle of Target or something like that, then I am not as worried about it because it's not like a place where people are trying to have a nice experience, or
an intimate conversation.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm just like, you know what? We're in the middle of Target. I don't care what other people think. We're just going to deal with this tantrum right here and now, and we'll work through it and it'll be fine.
Yeah. That is such a good perspective. And I love, we were talking earlier about taking deep breaths. Like when you're in the middle of one of those moments where your kid's having this big meltdown, the first thing to do is
self-regulate yourself.
Self-regulate. Yes. Take a deep breath. Cause we sometimes just react out of reflex, like a reflexive response, like mortified that our kid is doing this right now. But really just to calmly take a deep breath. And it gives you a second or two, a little bit to think about what your first thing is and how you're going to react. And them not seeing us react promptly is also helpful because sometimes some kids they're watching for how we're reacting. So it helps us keep a neutral face and a neutral body language and not melt down ourselves. As moms. So I think that's a good strategy, taking that deep breath.
For sure.
And we have all had those moments where you just have to pick your kid up and get out quick. And deal with it. And hopefully, at another day, another time, talk about, how we need to use our words. And we need to.
I've heard it said, you're not going to teach someone how to swim while they're drowning.
That's very true. You can't talk to them in the moment because they won't hear a thing you said or process it. But later, or it's a thing kids do learn. We were talking about books. They learn how to have manners through books or stories. There's something that OTs use called social stories, and it's been something fun that I learned how to do and then wrote them for my own children. So if somebody was really having trouble with anger or having trouble with a certain emotion, we could talk about that, and we could say things like, I can, or say they were just being mean with their hands, like wanting to hit or hurt others. I can have nice hands. Talk a story.
We have a
about
book that is talking about a bedtime routine. And it has like real life pictures, and a little girl gets some like soap and water in her eyes while they're washing her hair.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then she like melts down, and we talk about that. We still have trouble though with washing
hair.
Hair washing is tough.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips on that?
I do. You can start using that language. I can be okay washing my hair.
Yeah.
And just like we were talking earlier about potty training, you can do the same with hair washing, like Daddy's washing his hair. Look. And why showering so helpful? Because the first step is them learning that they can have water coming down their face. And around their head, and they can be fine. They can breathe. They're just fine. And so once they get used to that and let them spray, there's times where they need to learn that they can spray. And maybe they can have control, like you can show them by you demonstrating it on you. See how mommy has soap in her hair. Now I'm going to rinse my hair. And then your turn.
That's great.
And let them have some of that control. And keeping, we look up the whole time, and then, and then,
figuring out how to get him to look up has been the biggest struggle, because he just wants to be looking right at me.
Maybe you could put a sticker on the or
that's a great idea
that you can peel off later, but something creative like that. Put a sticker up there or something. Peel and stick.
We're going to have an Amazon list of all of our favorite toddler things.
Yeah. And then that helps a ton with hair washing. And really just getting them, the earlier you get those babies in a shower, the less likely. And I find that a lot of people that react negatively about water in their child's face those kids have trouble because I used to teach swim lessons. So I used to teach children how to swim.
My son's been doing swim lessons and he's loving them. They have helped with bath time a lot too.
Yeah, they do. But the kids that are doing swim lessons for the first time that really are upset and hate the water and all that, a lot of times it's almost like a passed down fear.
Yeah.
Because the parent doesn't realize they've instilled that fear in them based on how their face reacts when their child gets water in their face.
Yeah. They're looking at you.
They're looking at you.
Thinking,
and if a
what does mom think about this?
Right. If a parent's going, if that's their reaction, they're going to have that. They're going to learn that's bad. That water in my face is bad. And so a lot of it is us as parents. We've got to model it and show it and help them see that it's okay to have water in your face.
Yeah.
What has been like a surprise with toddler? Has there been something like sweet that you love about the toddler age? Or
there are so many sweet things. It is definitely a super, super hard season. But it's also, I think, the cutest season.
Yes, so cute.
Like,
they're sloppy wet kisses.
They're so cute. They're so cute. And I love when my son will come up and give me like unexpected hugs.
Oh,
it's the sweetest thing. And then learning how to talk too, like their little words when they say them wrong.
Oh, and you
are so adorable. I'm like, I hope this never changes, but it's good to change.
I love that.
He loves Chick-fil-A sauce. And he calls it yayo ketchup.
Yayo ketchup.
Yes.
Get some yayo ketchup.
Yes. And it's so cute.
That is very cute. Maybe he should make a commercial for Chick-fil-A.
Right.
With the yayo ketchup.
Yayo ketchup.
Yeah, I love it.
Cute.
So how is the whole eating routine for you all at home?
It's going pretty well. I think meals are hit or miss. And I think that is to be expected. So I always count for like 1 to 2 good meals per day.
Yeah,
and
that's a good goal.
Don't really worry about the rest.
Yeah.
The other thing that has really helped me is realizing that like our pediatrician told us that protein goals, it's only like 15 grams or something like that for the toddler
pretty
phase.
Small, yeah.
And he gets that amount through the amount of milk that he gets. So it takes the pressure off of protein.
Yeah.
Like it's really just for exposure, satiety, like.
Right. And jaw, like it's good to learn how to chew some meat because it brings jaw stability and that's good for not just eating, but talking.
Right. But it takes the pressure off of like, oh, you got to eat all of your burger. Right. Or whatever.
No. Yeah.
But we do a lot of, he feeds himself with his hands.
That's great. Does he like to use utensils?
Yeah. He has some utensils. He's not great at perfect at using them, but he does like using a fork.
That's good. The curved spoon is like the best when they're learning cereal because they really can get it in their mouth.
Yeah.
That curved spoon.
Okay.
Do you have a curved spoon?
I do not.
The curved spoons are the best thing to start them with because they don't have to manipulate their arm.
Yeah.
They can just get that. They learn to get the food in their mouth and then they get the idea and it goes a lot quicker, a lot better. But, and that process of sometimes stabbing their little fork in the meat and just laying it there. And that way they can just bring hand to mouth.
Yeah.
And then eventually they learn.
I usually try to start them out with like one piece.
And then they get it.
But it is, I think we deal with some pickiness, to an extent, but I just tried to repeatedly expose him to different foods.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go because, I think pickiness, sometimes children can have an underlying like real problem where they don't have the strength or maybe like they don't have the right mechanics and that can lead to picky eating. But if in general, most healthy kids, if we can just keep exposing them to the same foods and variety of foods.
Yeah.
But kids also pick up the habits we do. If we as parents have poor eating habits, meaning we're very selective or we have a small group of foods that we eat or we always want to eat the same types of foods, kids are smart. They notice. They see what's on our plates, from the time they're babies, they notice. So we have to be modeling those good habits.
Yeah.
And also do families sit down and have a meal together.
Yeah.
That's really important to model because many people don't realize that sitting down to a meal is not so much about the eating. It's more about the relationship and the social emotional part of sitting around a table.
Yeah.
Because food in a lot of cultures is very connecting, emotionally connecting.
Yeah.
It's more about that. And I feel like in our quick culture of America, so many people don't sit down and have meals together anymore.
Yeah.
And I think we're missing that point that it's really about that social emotional connection.
Yeah.
That if at least we sit down once a day together. And I used to try to do that.
And take the pressure off to not sit down at the table every single
absolutely not.
single meal.
Right.
But
absolutely not. No pressure there for that. But just that it would be a goal to have that. And I would try my hardest to sit down with my kids, like if my husband was absent, if he was working or whatever. And, we typically did it at dinner. And then I would build community at lunch or breakfast, meaning have them try to sit down together like the kids eat while I'm bustling around doing things. But, having a goal, we always had a goal at least once a day to have some sort of meal where the parent was with them. And eating with them. So.
And then the conversation too doesn't have to be, make sure one more bite of,
right. Not even talking about
chicken
food.
nugget.
Right.
It's more like, what was your favorite part of the day?
Right.
Tell me about your swim lesson.
Absolutely.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, you talk about everything but the food.
Yeah. And then they're watching you eat.
Uh-huh.
And they can model
it just
that
happens,
behavior.
model it.
Yeah.
And there's definitely help for moms, if they're struggling, if their child's so picky that they're not gaining weight or they don't look good. There's some children that we get in our therapy office that have been going on for years with, not eating well and they don't look well.
Yeah.
Like they're just eating, they're so selective and you want to get help for your child if they're so selective that because their brains are growing and they need nutrition to grow.
It's so important.
So important. And another thing, a lot of moms don't realize is the small volume of food that toddlers need. Like have you ever seen those, plates that show like the size, the portions?
Yeah.
Have you seen those before of what a toddler actually needs?
Yeah. It's something like,
it's
a tablespoon per year or something? It's
so small.
Yeah.
Or even just what does a serving look like for a toddler at lunch or dinner or whatever? And it's so much because we're so used to big portions that we just dump all this
especially in
food.
America.
In America, we dump all this food on a plate or in a bowl and we think they should eat it when we have a misguided understanding of how much they actually need. So I think that's important too, to understand your portions and look that up.
Yeah.
Look that up.
For sure.
And measure it out and see what it actually is on a plate and on your kid's plate.
Yeah.
And that'll make you go, oh, they actually don't need as much as I thought they did.
Yeah. And too much can be overwhelming for them.
Yes, for sure. Just small portions with some variety. All the colors. We always used to talk about the colors.
Yeah.
Oh, we have green and white today. And we have orange and yellow or whatever the color the food is. We would talk about colors and get all the colors in.
Yeah. I also try to not like say certain foods are good foods and certain foods are bad foods.
Right.
Too.
Yeah.
And have that kind of language with.
Yeah, we would talk about, I'm really thankful. My mom was great about teaching us about healthy food. That's what we talk about. Like food that makes our brain and body feel good and things like that. We would talk more on the positive. Yeah.
Like this milk will help our
bones
be good and strong.
And I remember my mom saying, eat your carrots, they help your eyes.
Yeah.
You know?
But then with the sweets, it's not like, oh, isn't this so exciting that you have this special treat?
Right.
It's like, oh, this is something that's sweet and tastes good.
And don't put the emphasis on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be.
Yeah. So, Emily, it was so nice to have you today. I loved hearing your toddler experiences as a mom, and I want to compliment you. You're such a relaxed mom. It seems like your ideas are super helpful. I bet they're going to help lots of moms.
Yeah.
And I'd love for you to tell us about your podcast.
Yeah. So, my best friend and I have a podcast. It's called Call Her Mommy, where it's just like two best friends chatting, and we talk about motherhood and life.
That's really fun.
Working. My friend is a working mom, and I kind of stay at home more. But if you are a mom, with specifically, I would say with younger children, we'd love to have you, listen to us. We're, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the things, Instagram.
And we'll put a link sharing that too.
Yeah.
Call Her Mommy.
Yeah. We just love to have a community where, moms can feel more seen, and, it's just like relatable mom stuff.
So fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, we really appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much. It's been great. And we love, my son did go to, Marshall for physical therapy.
Oh, I'm so glad we could help.
Yeah.
You all.
With torticollis. And he had a great time, doing his physical therapy. It was like one of the highlights of my like newborn phase was getting to get out of the house and go.
Oh, well, I'm so glad we could be a help to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for listening to Help, I Have Kids. If you're tuning into this podcast, that means you're a mom who's curious, committed, and ready to learn. And we see you. We'd love for you to join our Help, I Have Kids Facebook community, where moms just like you are connecting, asking questions, and encouraging each other every day. It's a space for real conversations, expert insight, and support from moms who get it, because we're all in this together. And if you know a mom who's feeling unsure or maybe overwhelmed, or just needs to be reminded that she can do it, she can advocate for her child with confidence, share this episode with her. We're building a village here, and we're glad you're a part of it.